All right, guys, here we are for another Pick'em NFL Week 3. Actually, we're gonna go in Week 4. I just want to do a little quick recap of how I did in Week 3. I want to apologize for feel a little sick, so I might sound like shit more than normal. Anyways, we did 13-3, not too bad, not too bad. I had a fucking Tennessee beating Jacksonville. I'm sure a lot of people did that too. The Detroit game, I put the star over here because I went with the upset over Philadelphia. I believe that one made me win that whole pool. A lot of people picked Philadelphia to win that game, and I was not expecting to see um, Kyle Allen play that good against Arizona. At Arizona. So that was another upset that not a lot of people had Carolina winning. So I'm taking, out of my three mistakes, two of them, all three of them, I don't think not a lot of people saw Seattle losing against New Orleans. I mean, I know my cousin give me a hard time because he's a Saints fan, but damn, I mean, they were not going to lose that bad. I mean, yeah, it's possible for them to lose, maybe by a field goal, maybe by 2 points, but not that bad. At one point, I think it was like a 20-point difference. So this is how I did week 3. So far, I've been over 500 all 3 weeks. So I hope that I just not jinx myself, and let's keep this shit going. I'm trying not to spend a lot of time on this shit because I do feel like crap. Now, I'm 0-3 in Thursday night games. I have not been able to win this week. So, by all means, if I pick something, you're more than welcome to go with the opposite because I just don't know how to do it. Philadelphia, I think Philadelphia has a lot of problems. People in the news, in the media, they're talking about how it's because of the injuries and all that. I saw receivers dropping passes. I saw Carson Wentz throwing interceptions. I saw overthrown plays. I saw fumbles. Those are not excuses for fucking interceptions, man. I mean, for fucking injuries. So Green Bay is at home. They balling. Eventually, Green Bay has to lose a game. So, like I say, if you want to go with the opposite of me, you're more than welcome. I'm 0-3 on Thursday night games. Tennessee and Atlanta. The same thing with Atlanta. People saying, well, last year they were saying there were injuries. This year they're saying it's a lot of mistakes, a lot of they're not playing well. They need to get together. Blah blah blah. Atlanta needs to run the ball. Period. They not fucking running the ball at all. They're one of the teams with the worst running game. Yardage and all that shit. So Tennessee Tennessee has problems too. Tennessee just lost against Jacksonville, and I don't like how Tennessee is playing, but they have plenty of time to get their shit together. So let's go with Tennessee. I think they can bounce back and win against Atlanta. New England at Buffalo. Now, see, this. I would love to go to this game. To be honest, though, I've been always wanting to go to watch a game against Buffalo. And this is the perfect game. 3-0 Buffalo against 3-0 New England divisional game. I'm picking this game with my heart because I'm a Patriots fan. But if you got the balls and they're playing at Buffalo, my friend, might as well just go for it. Go for the upset pick. I won't be mad. I don't blame you. I mean, they got nothing to lose. They're a well coached defense, and Josh Allen. They got a new offensive line. They're running the ball. They're throwing. I mean, everything is on favor of Buffalo. So I will not be upset if you go with Buffalo. Kansas City at Detroit. Detroit, it's winning. Detroit, it's undefeated. They actually 2-0-1. They tied the first game. Kansas City is 3-0. It's hard to go against Kansas City. Last week I did a lot of home games at the beginning. This week I'm doing a lot of away games. It's hard to bet against Kansas City, but this game in particular is gonna tell us how good Detroit is, because they're undefeated and the players look like they're finally buying into this whole Matt Patricia thing. So Matt Patricia, it's a everybody know rocket science. Maybe he has the defense and the system or the plays to slow down Kansas City offense. In Detroit, they can put a fight at home against the offense. Now Kansas City, of course, they're gonna drop some games, and the same thing with Atlanta. Kansas City don't have any running game. Kansas City is number one in passing right now. Kansas City, their running game is horrible. They have only averaged two. They have only done 74 attempts and gained 284 yards total. They averaging 3.8 yards per rush. Their longest fucking running game on this season is 41 yards, and they are only two. They only have two rushing um, touchdowns in this season. I know it's only been 3 games, but man, those stats sounds more like a game stats for any team, really. 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, averaging 3.8. If you rotate 2 or 3 running backs, you can gain 284 yards. I mean, it's hard. It's a good game, but you're talking about 3 games. No wonder Patrick Mahomes is gonna fucking break all kinds of records in passing. They don't have running game, you know. And for a lot of people who follow Mahomes or who own him on a fucking fantasy football league, they're happy and I'm excited to watch the game though. But another thing too, I saw a couple of the receptions for the touchdowns against Baltimore. Man, some of the receivers need to get some more credit over there though, because without Cheetah, they stepping up to the plate. You know, all the credit is going to Mahomes, and when they lose, they all the credit, all the fucking blame is gonna go to these receivers not stepping up and not making the plays that they need to win big games, like in the playoffs last year. Let's move along. Oakland and Indianapolis. Oakland played good the first game. I think they were motivated for the whole Antonio Brown thing. After that, they have gone down against good teams. They lost against the Vikings, and who did they lose in week 2? They lost against Kansas City, of course. So yeah, it's they got to go at Indianapolis. Brissett is actually playing pretty good. The offensive line is giving him time to throw the ball. The Colts were a playoff team last year, and I think they're gonna be alright without Andrew Luck. Maybe they're not gonna be the greatest, but they're gonna be alright. Especially if Tennessee can't get their shit together, maybe they can sneak in the wild card with a 9-7. We'll see. Chargers and Miami. Now, breaking news was that Melvin Gordon is reporting back to the Chargers. He will not play against Miami. I don't really think they need him. I think Miami is aiming for the 0-16. They're gonna get a whole shit of draft picks. They got 2 already on the first round pick, on the first round, and they can probably sneak a third one. So they're gonna stock up. They can eventually change one of those for more for second round picks. So they're in a rebuilding season. Oh man, I'm sorry. I feel like crap right now. Trying to get motivated in this video, but I might just redo it. Washington and New York. Man, everybody's so excited about Daniel Jones. I like that kid, Daniel Jones. I was actually hoping the Patriots would have drafted him. He's a big guy, big arm. I like everything about him. He played for Duke. He's coming from a good school where he played a lot. He had all kinds of records over there. Against Tampa Bay, he had 2 touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. So he did 2 with his arm and 2 with his legs. He brings another dimension for the game. He's not so much of a running quarterback, but he will hurt you if he has to running the ball. Now the problem is that no Saquon Barkley in New York for this game, So Washington is 0-3, but Washington's defense is not that bad. Against Chicago, they actually look pretty good, and they've been looking pretty good all three games, to be honest. So I think they're gonna have an easy game trying to prepare against New York because there's no Saquon Barkley. So you just gotta the New York teams is becoming the New York team it becomes a one dimension team. You just gotta focus on the passing. The good thing for New York, Tate, the receiver, Tate is coming back. Golden Tate from suspension, so he's gonna have another weapon to work with, and they're gonna have to figure out something because Saquon Barkley is gonna be out for a few weeks with a high ankle sprain. So they'll figure out something this week, and I'm gonna go with Washington. I think Washington gets their first victory. My boy Case Keenum, he's been lights out. They got a good receiver, and like I say, the defense don't look that bad. It's a division game, and I think they can beat New York. Cleveland at Baltimore. I keep saying Cleveland is in a bad stretch right now. I don't think they can go and beat Baltimore at Baltimore, especially after Baltimore. They think they could have won against Kansas City, and they probably could have. You know, they're a good team. They can bounce back easily. Carolina and at Houston, man, this is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a good game. Jeez. Houston is a good team, though. Houston is a very good team. The Deshaun Watson is playing very good. Oh man, I'm having trouble speaking this one. Kyle Allen only has 7 incompletions that game against Arizona. I know they were playing against Arizona, but the man had over 400 yards and only 7 incompletions. A lot of people already talking about he can probably keep this job because Cam was not playing good at all before he got hurt, and Cam is a MVP league, a past MVP, a former MVP league. You know, Cam. I love Cam. I love watching Cam play, but Cam needs to be Cam, and if Cam is not being Cam and not playing at this level, I mean, I would not mind seeing this guy Kyle Allen keeping this job. Maybe time for Cam Newton to move into another team and start fresh from the start, while he still has some good football left in the tank. You know what though? I almost want to pick Carolina, but I hate picking a lot of either teams from either side. You know what I'm saying? Like either all away or all home teams. Houston to me, it's in the top 10 right now. I know they lost a very close game against the Saints, but I'm gonna have to go with Houston right here just because they are at home. I think they'll get it done somehow. They'll find a way, but this is gonna be a close game. It can go either way, to be honest. Tampa Bay at the Rams. I always struggle picking Tampa Bay also, but the Rams are at home and the Rams are bowling. They are top three. I think the top three right now are Patriots, Kansas City, and the Rams. And the Rams and Kansas City and the Patriots are not far away from each other. I think they are all three teams separate from the rest of the league. Um, so yeah, I think I'm okay going with Tampa Bay, especially Tampa Bay has to travel all the way across the country. Seattle at Arizona. Man, Seattle looked bad against. Seattle looked bad against New Orleans, and then actually make me look bad, to be honest. I think they can bounce back. They had a veteran team with a veteran quarterback, veteran coach, good defense. Clowney has to step up and start making some plays. Arizona don't think they have the weapons what it takes to win against Seattle right now. Not right now. Maybe when they play later on in the season, it can be a better match. They should take advantage right now that they are at home. But I'm gonna go with Seattle. I don't see Seattle losing 2 games back to back. That's the main reason why I'm going with them. But I like what I'm seeing in Arizona. The good young quarterback and the veteran receivers, the veteran plays like David Johnson. They're trying to help out the young guy, the veteran defense. I mean, I like what I see in Arizona though. It's a tough division with the Rams in Seattle there and San Francisco playing lights out. They 3-0, so they 3-0. So I don't know, man. Arizona has their hands full, and they trying to keep up with them, but it's hard. It's hard to keep up with all those three guys. Minnesota and Chicago. Wow, this is gonna be a defensive game, and let's see what's the over under on that game. Jeez, I don't see people scoring a lot of points. Yeah, the 38 and a half right now, over or under. Um, Although Chicago scored a lot of points against Washington and like I say, in a good defense of Washington, I don't see him scoring a lot of points. Minnesota's running the ball well. I think Chicago's gonna stop the running and have Kirk Cousins try to beat him. Chicago at home with all their fans and the defense, everybody playing good. I'm taking Chicago though, but it could be a close one though, and it could also well go against Minnesota too. I'm just going for the safe picks here though. But if any other picks you decide to go for the upset or you don't agree with what I'm saying, I mean, comment below. Let me know what you think. Jacksonville and Denver. This is gonna be a boring ass game to me. I don't, there's nothing that I want to see against these two teams. Just like I did not want to see Green Bay's uniform last week. That uniform was horrible. They should have just lost for showing up in the uniform. But Jacksonville or Denver. Oh man, Denver has nothing though. Like literally nothing that I'm looking to see though. I thought Joe Flacco was gonna have a better season, but Denver don't have like really nothing to show for, man. Remember that? Remember that day? Remember that year when they won the Super Bowl and they decided to pay Von Miller all that money and invest all that money in the defense? I say, man, they're making a big mistake. They're wasting all this money. They're not even gonna make the playoffs next year. And sure enough, I don't even think they have made the playoffs since they won the Super Bowl. Their team went just straight to the garbage after that. Jacksonville with this Minshaw guy, the mustache guy, playing a little better. They have a little drama going on with Ramsey and the coach apparently in the hot seat. So it's hard to pick this fucking game. Jacksonville has to travel to Denver. I'm just gonna go with Jacksonville, but just because they had extra time to prepare, so I think they can go and win. Now this is two good teams right here, New Orleans and Dallas. Dallas, everybody's putting them in the Super Bowl already. I think they're a little overrated, to be honest. I know my boy Jay doesn't agree with that. Dallas has played soft teams like the Dolphins and who did they play in week one? I know that week one they destroyed somebody. I got my paper right here. Oh, they destroyed. They beat the Giants pretty bad, but and with Eli, um, it's gonna be hard to pick against New Orleans at the Dome, especially with Terry Bridgewater and everything. But this is like Detroit. This is gonna show us how good Dallas really is. I mean, can they really be? Can they really go into New Orleans and beat them over there? And this is for you, Hug. This is something that you need to fucking need to listen to me on this one real quick. Just look at the numbers. I don't even have the numbers with me, but I'm pretty sure Dallas has the number against New Orleans at New Orleans. The last 3 or 4 times that they play at New Orleans, I think Dallas came up with a victory. So I'm not trying to jinx you. I'm not trying to talk shit about your team, bro. I do like New Orleans, like I've been saying. I have them in the championship game. Um, I it's just one of those, you're gonna lose one or two here and there, man. And this type of, even if they lost this game, this is the type of games that will teach you something, and you'll come back from it. and especially like with Drew Brees coming back, and everything. And if they play later on in the year on the playoffs, whether they play at Dallas or at New Orleans with Drew Brees, and after they have played this week and see how they play each other and what's their weakness or what now, New Orleans can always bounce back. But I would not be surprised if Dallas somehow can come up with a victory though. And Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Cincinnati is 0-3. Pittsburgh is 0-3. Somebody has to win. I hope the motherfuckers tie. Oh my goodness. I really hope they can tie this game. I really, really cannot stand the Steelers. And I love the fact that they are 0-3. Um, I think Tomlin's a good coach and eventually will come up with the plan to uh, win against Cincinnati. The Red Rifles actually been pretty high though. You look at this. He was like a top five, I think, on the passing. Um, oh, it's his seven, number seven. Yeah. Anyways, I got Pittsburgh winning that game. And my points for this game, um, let's go with 37. How about that for the tiebreaker? I think Pittsburgh will find a way to win. Uh, it's pretty even home and away teams. Week 4, one quarter of the season has gone. It's kind of sad how fast this NFL thing goes, especially because it takes so long for it to come around. Next year, we're supposed to have the XFL, which allows us to have football all year long. Let's see how much success we have with that. I don't know how much I'm gonna follow it. I don't even know the teams that they have. I know Tampa Bay has a team, but we'll talk about more into that. Guys, have a great weekend. Pray for me. I hope I can get better and have a couple of drinks this week, and hopefully we can make some money on this. We've been over 500, so we haven't really done that horrible. There's a lot. You started seeing what teams are good, what teams are bad. Man, I feel like crap, guys. Take it easy. Have a nice day. This is your boy Sayin.